It was an exciting morning at the farm. Farmer Hegarty had fenced off a new paddock for his cows. And Millie and Molly had come to watch Scout herd them in.
Molly, Farmer Hegarty's going to open the gate. But there's something swimming in that puddle. Look at the ripples in the water. Oh, let's have a look. You're right. Looks like a tadpole. Stop! Farmer Hegarty, wait! Please!
Heavens, Molly! Whatever is it?
A tadpole! It'll get trampled by the cows! We have to save it!
A tadpole? I think it'll have to take its chances. Scout can't hold these cows much longer.
We'll be quick, we promise! Please!
Oh, all right. All my days on this farm, and I've never been held up by a tadpole until now.
In you go! Swim! Swim! Hello, little tadpole.
Sorry to bother you girls, but do you think we might let these cows in now?
Okay. It's your lucky day, Tiny Tadpole. Hey, Millie, let's call him Tiny. Okay, I think we'll have to find you a better home to live in, Tiny.
But that was easier said than done. Millie and Molly began their search for a nice new pond for Tiny. They started at the river because there was plenty of water there.
You'll be having a nice day now. All aboard! All aboard!
It's very busy here. And dirty. Look at the rubbish. Let's find somewhere quieter and cleaner.
It was peaceful at the vacant block down the road from Millie's house, and there was no rubbish about, but...
It's very hot here. There's no shade to keep the pond cool. And no pond either.
there was a lovely big pond at the park with lots of shade. It was quiet and clean, but...
I can't see any other tadpoles. No, just lots of big hungry-looking fish. Maybe they ate the tadpoles. You're not going in there, Tiny.
Let's try again tomorrow.
Hey, Jack, you playing soccer?
Nah, going home. Grown-ups kicked us off the playing field.
Yeah. Look, we found a tadpole. He's called Tiny.
Cute.
Ew. Hey, he's beautiful. And he'll be even more beautiful when he grows into a frog. Yeah, if we can find him a pond to grow up in.
Millie and Molly searched the whole town without luck. There were no good ponds for a tadpole to live in anywhere.
Poor Tiny, stuck in a jar. Hey, Molly, maybe we could build him a pond right here in the garden. That's a great idea. Good thinking, Millie. Marmalade, stop that. Leave Tiny alone. Or not such a terrific idea with Marmalade about.
Millie and Molly couldn't think of one place to build a pond for poor Tiny.
Peaceful, shady, damp. Shame there's nowhere in town like that. Or is there? Huh? Look around, Molly. Right here. Oh, it's damp. You're right. It's shady, and no one plays in this part of the playground. It's perfect.
A frog pond, you say, girls? Here in the school playground?
Frogs need special places, and that's the only place where everything is just right.
Well, I don't see why not. It'll make a great addition to our school.
Hooray!
So Millie and Molly found out exactly what they needed to build a frog pond and started to make the perfect home for Tiny. It was hard going, but in time they had a hole that was about big enough. They put rocks around the edges, planted some plants that frogs might like to hide in, and scattered some leaves about to keep the ground moist. It was just the kind of place a tiny tadpole would like to grow up in.
Swim free, Tiny. We'll visit you on Monday morning. Bye-bye, Tiny.
But after the weekend, a terrible sight awaited them.
Oh, no! The pond's been completely wrecked.
Millie and Molly searched and searched the muddy puddle for their little friend.
Tiny! Thank goodness you're safe. Who could have done this to your beautiful pond? These soccer boot prints might be a clue.
Yeah, we practice soccer here on Sunday. So?
Well, didn't you notice the frog pond?
Saw something new. Didn't know it was a frog pond. Thought it was a puddle.
Well, it is a frog pond. Or was. We spent ages building it. So could you practice somewhere else?
Where?
You wrecked Tiny's home.
We didn't know anything was living there. Anyway, it's our practice field and we don't have anywhere else. Yeah.
Nowhere.
Look, the final's coming up and we've got a good chance of winning. But nobody cares. They just tell us to go away.
This is the only place left to practice. And it's really important.
Yeah, more important than a dumb tadpole. Yeah.
Well, girls, I understand why you're upset. But the playground belongs to everybody in this school, including the soccer team.
But what about Tiny?
How about this for an idea? He can live here in the classroom in his bowl.
But Millie and Molly knew that Tiny couldn't live in a fishbowl forever. Soon he was going to grow up and not be tiny anymore. First, he grew back legs. Then he grew front legs. And then his tail grew shorter until it disappeared. Before long, Tiny the tadpole was a frog. And because he wasn't so tiny anymore, they changed his name to Prince Charming.
Shoo! Shoo! Oh, you wretched fly! Oh, Prince Charming!
He ate the fly. He ate a fly.
The fly?
Will someone catch him?
Prince Charming.
I'll get him.
I missed him.
Got him.
Well done, Jack. Now, put a book over his pond to keep him from escaping.
Prince Charming sure is funny.
Aye, he may be funny, but I'm afraid he's outgrown his wee bowl. He needs more space. He needs to hop about outside so he can eat flies.
But Miss Blythe, he hasn't got anywhere else to live. Frogs need ponds.
Now,
And he has...
Molly, chin up. Maybe he'll find his own pond. He's a very clever wee frog after all.
But Millie and Molly knew there were no ponds. They'd searched every part of town. But with no better alternative, it was decided that Prince Charming would be released into the playground that afternoon.
There you go, Tiny. I mean, Prince Charming. You're free. Good luck.
Hey, what do you want, Prince Charming?
It's like he's trying to ask you something, Jack.
Oh, maybe he does need that pond to live in. Do you, Prince Charming?
But Jack, we need the playground to practice in. There's nowhere else. And the final's coming up. It's really important.
I know, but frogs are important too.
Duh. How could frogs be important?
They eat flies, don't they? Nobody likes flies.
That is kind of cool. But we'll have nowhere to practice. Hey, how about the vacant lot in my street? It's no good for a frog pond, but it's okay for soccer. Yeah, and we'll ask our dads to build you a soccer another one.
What do you think?
We've never had goalposts. And Prince Charming can have his pond.
Sure. Okay, we'll do it.
That springtime, everybody was happy. The soccer team practiced hard and won their final. Miss Blythe and the whole class helped build Prince Charming a new pond in the playground. And other frogs came out of hiding to live at the pond, lay their eggs. And the eggs hatched into new tadpoles. And there were noticeably less flies in the playground.